should be seeing it right now. There we go. Hopefully all the players are happy with whatever's going on right now. Not sure why we even remained in the first place. I didn't really catch that, but that's fine because we're here right now. And well, Empire, they do have the first pick. Obviously, take out the real, I think, overall powerful heroes, but Shadow Fiend actually going to be banned out by Empire first, even being on the Radiant. Kind of interesting.
And okay, that was actually really strange. I thought Empire actually like to play Shadow Fiend. Oh, maybe
that's a resolution hero.
Yeah, that's his hero, but he chooses to ban the hero out. So maybe he wants to pick something else. But I don't recall them playing Wisp as well. So maybe their first picks, maybe they want Stalker. Maybe okay, no Stalker as well. Well,
if they don't grab the IO, I'm pretty sure 4 Clovers are going to try to angle themselves towards, maybe not necessarily the IO pick in and of itself, but try to set up for.
But if you are expecting 4 Clovers to maybe go for the IO, maybe you can even open with a Wyvern.
Yeah.
For Empire.
And even if you're not just opening with the Wyvern, not necessarily going to be a terrible start. But I think Empire should have done their homework. That 4 Clovers do have a tendency to get towards the IO. You could prepare for it by picking it up. That works too. In fact, that's probably the best way of countering an IO.
They haven't played the hero for such a long time, though.
So, I mean, it's definitely not as big for them as it is for 4 Clovers, but...
Oh yeah, okay, so 4 Clovers have strong lanes again this time around. They have the Bane. Bane tiny mid is no one hero can actually stay in the lane. It's so difficult to lane against that. And right now, if you talk about Wisp partners that would probably be able to stay in the lane. There's not many though. Even if you go for like something like a Bristol, if you get slapped and tossed into a really bad position, there's always still a chance that you might die in that laning phase.
It's gonna be a rough lane for sure, and this isn't really like 4 Clovers too much out of their element. We see teams occasionally seeing the IO on the other side first pick, will immediately grab up the Tiny and then just kind of be awkwardly positioned with that hero. But 4 Clovers, they love themselves some Tiny, and with or without an IO, I'm pretty sure for 4 Clovers, whether it's played by Pycat and the more farming role where it's in Bambo's hands, trying to get a little bit more of that roaming, maybe gank-oriented Tiny. That's what 4 Clovers does. This is their hero. This is the 4 Clovers hero, Tiny.
They have 2 players that play the hero, right? Pycat and Bambo plays the hero. So right now Empire is in a tough spot. Maybe they will just pick okay, they're gonna pick Beastmaster. It's a hero that can allow the Wisp relocate to be very deadly around the map, giving vision. And pretty decent in the laning phase, and the ball is quite good versus Tiny in mid to late game situations. So overall a solid pick that fits their strategy, and it has some sort of counter towards the opponent's strategy as well.
Definitely an early pickup of this hero. Probably not going to be the IO partner, but as I said, the two heroes do work very well with one another, even though they may not be necessarily being relocated toward the same place. Second ban phase now out. It's actually the Bat Rider, another one of, I guess, 4 Clovers heroes to be kicked out.
Because usually like Wisp is regarded as a counter towards Lasso, because with the relocate you can actually save the target. So pretty strange to
Beastmaster also pretty good, just roar for kind of the same reasons.
Yeah, and you have vision, so maybe they are just banning it because they know 4 Clovers are really comfortable with the pick and they like to run the pick a lot. It's not so much about, they already have heroes that deal with the Bat Rider very well. And 4 Clovers are choosing to ban Gyro. I mean, just a really solid carry overall, and Empire likes to pick Gyro a lot, even with Silent and Hovos, they're both players that play the hero.
Yeah. I mean, we just saw that, so... It was definitely not the most fun of strategies, and I'm not going to respect ban against the IO exclusively. It's going to be Dazzle mixed in there as well. Winter Wyvern still in the pool for 4 Clovers. Looking pretty decent. I mean, you're going up against an IO.
They can actually go for the Wyvern here, I think. It's a very good hero versus the relocate, plus it's really good versus the Raw, so you can actually embrace and protect the target. So it's a really good pick here for their lineup. And it's also the fact that it could also fall into Empire's hand, because Wyvern is good versus Tiny too.
Doctor instead. It's still a decent hero to have up against an IO. The Cask and in some situations the Maledict, but
it's more like team fight as well. Like the Death Ward is really good in team fight. Like Wyvern is more of a setup, and Witch Doctor is more dealing more damage. But they are both very similar in the sense they are very focused on getting your lanes do well. With the Witch Doctor, you can have the heal and the stun that can actually protect the carry. I mean, overall, I still think that Wyvern could have been a stronger hero because he does more in a lot of different situations, but they're both very similar in nature.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Witch Doctor maybe just like with his base damage and range, it's really hard to just deal with the Witch Doctor actively poking at you. Beastmaster has some sort of response if it's going to be Beastmaster offlane with the boars and sometimes with the axes, but
Mm,
it's a lot of chip damage being
yeah,
added up from 4 Clovers.
and the other thing about Beastmaster for Empire, I think I've seen Resolution play the hero a lot as well, so
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that it's going to be offlane. It might also still be a mid Beastmaster.
We'll see. I mean, IO Beastmaster is definitely
It's not-
playing the map presence game, but
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't
it's
necessarily show
not
the
the
lanes.
greatest laning partner, I
Yeah.
guess.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, they definitely do have the ability to find these softer heroes, the Bane, the Witch Doctor, relocate on them with any given heroes, and then just annihilate them.
They need damage right now
Yeah.
because they have stun from Beastmaster. Like IO doesn't provide too much damage. Like they need a partner like that deals a lot of damage, like maybe Ember, or someone that has a lot of burst. So when you roar, you can actually kill and finish a target.
I think you either pick that up right now, though I do think, maybe waiting, grabbing another one of those supports, like, I don't know, Winter Wyvern's sake, you do
Even
kind of want to
Rubik
have...
maybe can be
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, just Wyvern is just more of a very standard good pick. You can't really go wrong with a Wyvern pick.
Yeah.
It fits into so many strategies and it's really good versus so many things.
Get the Embrace IO double heal with the tether. Oh god, the value.
Still lack a lot of damage right now. Wyvern is set up. Oh, actually 4 Clovers are going to be the team that snacks up the Ember. So it's safe. It should be safe lane Ember, I guess. I mean, you can do it mid Ember, safe lane Tiny, but I would actually feel that they would actually go for the Bane plus Tiny because their lanes are much better that way than Ember safe lane. So they can pressure more. Witch Doctor, Ember, Bane, Tiny. The lanes are looking really solid for Clovers.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much up in the air for what they want to do. They do have a little bit of flexibility with that, but I think no matter what they do right now, at least at this point in the draft for Empire, there's no decisive lead that Empire can accrue by laning their heroes in any specific way. Like, no matter what 4 Clovers do, they should have stronger lanes unless Empire really just pick up some sort of huge powerhouse for their lanes and somehow are able to lock that down. As far as answers for an Ember Spirit and his mobility, it's the Roar, it's the Curse from Winter Wyvern. They have some, and they'll have a little bit more in the Legion Commander.
I think they're gonna do Legion plus
Yeah.
IO off lane though together. I've seen them.
Beastmaster mid.
Yeah, I've seen them do this before. It's really strong with the heal. Both of the hero can actually charge up so much healing power, and you can actually pressure if it's a Ember plus Witch Doctor safe lane and Bane Tiny mid. You can actually pressure the Ember a lot. So 4 Clovers once more bans the Wraith King. Hey, actually wait, Empire were the team that banned the Wraith King the last game.
Yeah. A lot of respect for this guy. A lot of respect. I guess with the amount of sustain that would have given Empire, that would have been pretty insane, but I'm still not sure if that's the really most terrifying hero that Empire could pick up last. Slardar as the last ban, gonna take that one out from 4 Clovers.
They need a Nikwa initiating hero. I think Paika will probably play SB will be their initiating hero. One of the few heroes left in the pool that's really decent in the laning phase can be helpful to pressure the other lanes as well. So right now the SB will actually strengthen the other lanes. The Bane, Tiny, Witch Doctor and Ember lanes are going to be really strong because SB can always support them. So it's going to be, the laning phase is going to be tough for Empire.
Maybe. I mean, it's always difficult to see like how much success Legion Commander IO dual lane can get, just because it is such a chaotic lane. To some degree, it's RNG. You gotta get those passive procs, but you really just have to find the right angles and just use your insane movement speed and attack speed. Just kind of get kills out of nowhere, and it's by no means guaranteed. And that's kind of both good and bad for Legion Commander. Juggernaut as the last pick for Empire now.
Are real.
Yeah. Beastmaster has to step up his heal game. Really lacking, man. Everyone else is gotten in
Funny
space.
is playing Beastmaster, so it's gonna be Legion mid with Whis and offlane Beastmaster. Huh, that's interesting.
The downside of this is, of course, the mid lane is a lot shorter than the top lane typically. Like, you have less room to run people down. I guess the IO does have the luxury of being able to create stacks, which Legion Commander can kind of kill. I mean, she's no Shadow Fiend for sure, but yeah, it seems like Empire is just going to throw the Beastmaster up towards the top lane and kind of just dual lane it up with the IO, who's already clearing out the trees. It's going to be a very jungle-heavy game for the IO. Unfortunately, I didn't quite get it correctly. That sucks.
So the lanes would be, yeah, as expected. Bane has EGM.
Havost. He's walking in a little bit too deep. Boss level 1. Now here comes the Nightmare. Yeah, they have to toss him, but even then, he's going to level up the spin, so all of a sudden, not really too great as they're taking a hell of a lot of damage. Nightmare in the toss onto the Winter Wyvern in the end, but now the cast's going to start bouncing through. No Fear taking a hell of a lot of damage. Will get bashed and dropped. EGM grabs first blood. In the meantime, Bambo cutting his way through the trees. He's going to be just fine, it looks like. Tiny has a hell of a lot of HP, though he's maybe lacking the armor. It is still going to be first blood grabbed by 4 Clovers. Not the initiation they really wanted, but worked out pretty well for them regardless in the end.
Oh, and he's actually gonna just die to Roshan and TP out.
He's trying to take the Aegis, dude. he was almost there. Back to the base goes Bambo, and yeah, he is going to be a little bit richer when he's back in. But yeah, interesting to see that work that well for the 4 Clove side. I guess, you know, Beastmaster kind of nowhere near in the area, and the Nightmare into toss. Again, it was kind of delayed. It was not exactly the cleanest, but it is going to be what 4 Clovers are going to be running, at least for a little while in this bottom lane.
I expected the Bane to be with the Tiny, but not in this lane. So they're actually going to do Ember, Witch Doctor mid, and they're going to try and pressure with the Tiny plus Bane on the off lane. I mean, I guess if you look at what they are matching up against, Wyvern plus Juggernaut, but Wyvern plus Juggernaut is not a weak lane as well. They can still hold their own pretty well when they get levels on a spin. And if you look at top, it's Beastmaster versus SB is actually a very good matchup for Beastmaster.
Yeah, it's going to be a brawling lane for sure. Beastmaster probably going to be getting just more gold, although both sides going to be getting their experience. So yeah, in that regard, it's going to be a little bit more of a wash. This mid lane is definitely pretty interesting. Legion Commander Io, in and of itself, is something that we don't see all that often, but going up against Ember Spirit Witch Doctor, the poking from the Witch Doctor, definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. But this lane, I feel like it's slightly towards Empire, but nothing decisive at all.
But when the Ember gets his levels, then they can actually have a good kill potential. Depends on whether the Witch Doctor actually goes for the curse, I mean the melodic, or the heal in this lane.
Well, he doesn't quite yet have enough time to do that. Over towards the bottom lane, Havo's taking a lot of damage. GM Nightmare, that's not going to do it, so he'll call it quits. Tiny, what are you, level 2, needs the clarity back up to that magic 240 mana mark, and you can look to continue that aggression, but definitely bottom lane and mid lane, areas where there can be kills out of nowhere, especially when EGM's taking this much damage. Havos doesn't yet have boots of speed or anything like that. Over towards mid lane, another brawl. Backs up Highcat. It is going to be heal level 2 as the Witch Doctor. He will, you know, try to out-sustain this lane. Bottle, though, on the IO is going to make that a struggle. Charge is coming in. Yeah, it's going to go straight towards this IO. Resolution doing what he can versus Pycat, but what he can do, not that much. Charge now coming in from the north. The heal comes in, but it's way too late. That's going to be IO. No, he grabs an Invis rune! Lucky rolls. And the IO is narrowly going to escape. That was all planned, I'm sure.
And you know what? It actually didn't even look like he got an Invis rune, because you can't really tell.
They really have to fix that. Double damage and invis are like impossible to see on IO, but either way, pretty sure even with like a haste rune, you die there as an IO. So rolling lucky, and it is going to be IO now with another full bottle. So Resolution can continue playing a little bit more aggressively, spam out those overwhelming odds, which even though they're level 1, does a hell of a lot of damage versus 2 heroes and a whole boatload of creeps. So it's a little bit of a lucky break there for the IO, but still going to be going right back to the business in that lane. Oh, Havo's going to get tossed in, but he's already spinning onto EGM. Bambo! Oh, he's going to get the deny at least. So Bane is going to fall, yes, but to his own hands. They really have to be careful about that Blade Fury, man. It does a lot of damage. If you disrespect it, if you're a Bane, there's not much you can do once the Juggernaut's run on top of you.
Yeah, and if you look at the top lane as well, Beastmaster is slowly taking control of the lane. He has Pearl Man Shield plus the Orb of Venom. I think these are the best items to start. If you want to dominate your lane, and it's really good versus another melee.
They're going to try again for Hervos. They have a toss back. He's embraced, however, and this tower's not focusing him. They have an avalanche, but it's going to be dodged by the spin. I mean, it's a cute tactic here for 4 Clovers, but like every single time they try and fail, they're just getting so far behind.
Good versus Juggernaut.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I have point-click magic immunity, so what are you going to do? Maybe if the tower is focusing him, they would have like a chance, but that wasn't even the case.
Yeah, but overall, they are both getting about the equal amount of farm between the Juggernaut and the Tiny. I mean, Juggernaut will start to get less right now because he's not at full HP and he can't really go up to the lane. So Tiny's gonna start to pull away right now.
And it's just like the mana trades though. Like Havos, to get out of there, you cost himself 110 mana. Tiny needs 240 to even try to go for that kill.
He's close to his bottle though, so if he wants to get mana item, he can get a bottle. And you know, if you look at the Juggernaut's position, he can't really get any more regen unless he sends Salve or Clarity, so whatnot. He still has a Mango, but I think the lane is going to start to get tough for him.
Lanes also might get tough on the top side as it is the IO. Dan's gonna go up and help out Funnick a little bit.
See,
They have a
6.
roar.
Yeah, they're waiting for the 6 on Beastmaster.
Get roar Nikwa, just bum rush him and hope you have enough to kill him before he charges out. Saksa is spotted, and that's a much easier target instead. Funnick gonna get into a man fight, gets bashed first hit because that's how it always goes. Now charge in with a cast, being layered a little bit perhaps, but now here comes the IO with the regeneration. Nikwa can take all the spirits to the face, and Saksa now slowed down with the double boar. That's one kill on the Witch Doctor. Might be another one as Nikwa does not have a charge anymore. They've roared him for good measure. That was completely unnecessary for Funnick, but hey, a double kill, why not? As 4 Clovers definitely did not expect the IO to be in that top lane.
I mean, he was just trying to make it safe because SB could have just mangled and charge out, so he just wanted, and it's not a long cooldown, right? So you just want to make sure you get the kill.
We're going to try to go for a kill on Resolution. Unfortunately for the Ember Spirit, you can't purge off those chains as Legion Commander, so not exactly a guaranteed way of locking a hero down. Over towards bottom lane now, a little bit of a brawl. Havos does not have mana just yet, doesn't really want to eat his mango. Bambo, Avalanche. There is Toss mana, but he's spinning and Cold Embrace. I don't think I've seen that before, but sure, why not? Over towards mid lane in the meantime. Oh, everyone's getting so low, but no one's dying. I know I'm going to miss it. IO's going to tether out. They do get the Nightmare Arch, no fear. Pulled off by Bambo, actually. Toss is up, plus the Avalanche. That should just immediately get the kill on the Winter Wyvern, and it will. Havos doesn't have a spin, nor does he have an Omni Slash. That will be a kill finally being picked up on this bottom lane for Clovers.
This lane is expected, like, after the first few exchanges, it became really tough for the Juggernaut because he was out of regen. And, oh no, mid lane again. Resolution is going to get double upon.
There are chains. He's going to purge that one off immediately. Charge is incoming, but it's not coming quite fast enough. Spirit Breaker probably his charge is known, and Nikwa is going deep, but not all the way in. He does have another strike right now, and with the bash, that is going to hurt like hell. Bambo coming from behind with an avalanche toss for harassment right now. He's double damage room, but he doesn't have an escape. So Bambo is going to have to, well, just run in a straight line. Apparently that's going to be good enough, as they thought he was running the other way. Okay, all planned from Bambo, he's gonna leave.
But, like, the Beastmaster has been, like, farming as well, like, the whole time, so I don't think it was too bad for Empire. They got a lot of pressure in mid lane, but Beastmaster is gonna have a really quick Necrobook at this rate. Oh, he's gonna get charged. Can they actually kill him here? It will be a really big kill.
Well, there's a boar, so they're gonna get a little bit of cask bounces. They need a bash, if anything. They're going to Nether Strike, and Io's gonna come in again. They don't have a relocate, but they do have a roar onto Saxa with Io Spirits. Nicholas, is he stuck in the trees? How did he get there? He's gonna get a charge out. And it looks like there's going to be no one to intercept him, so Nikwa will survive, but Beastmaster is no joke. I mean, even without the IO, this is a really, really tanky hero to try to burn through, and he's going to get even more difficult to deal with should he actually pick up this Necrobook as fast as he's getting it.
Aloha is reading the situation very well. Every time, he's always there to actually turn the situation around, and he's not reacting as well, right? He's not like, oh, my teammate got ganked, I TP'd, but he was always ready and anticipating the movements from 4 Clovers.
Yeah, it's not my teammate got ganked, I better TP, is my teammate is going to get ganked. Yeah. And just gotta have that foresight, man. Gotta have that sixth sense. Bottom lane, no fear, taking a snooze. Sexy Bambo, Avatos, that should just create the Winter Wyvern, and it will. They have a charge also, but it's probably not gonna do that much unless Savos gets a little bit suicidal. It's gonna be canceled in the end. Winter Wyvern is gonna fall, and it's a pretty easy setup on the Winter Wyvern. Probably the only kill that they can get, at least on this bottom lane, with this Nightmare into Avatos combo.
Yeah, they need to get the level 6 on their IO for Empire. That's when the game starts to, you know, become better for them because they can use it with the Roar to actually pressure the other lanes.
Oh, top. There's 3 seconds until Roar. I think the Witch Doctor's just dead if he gets roared. In the meantime, IO, he was spotted out by Nikwa, but it seems like they're going to go in for the dive. Because it's just a Witch Doctor with a boar there already. There's the Roar. He's going to get stunned up Funnick, so he can't quite cast the axes. But he will get it out in the end. That will kill off the Witch Doctor. Funnick is going to get charged plus toss. This may be the death of the Beastmaster, but he already spent a good march out of the goals. He gets relocated out. All the way back to the, not quite the fountain, I guess, but all the way back to base, let's say. Funnick probably not going to die on the return trip either. It's just going to be the IO. Now he has a tether out. IO is going to get charged, but you need a bash here, Nikwa, if you're going to get this kill. Bar not rolling lucky, has Witch Doctor coming in, but bash way too late. And Aloha Dance again going to bail Funnick out. Nether Strike is going to be cast from super long range, but that might be overcommitment here. There are no boars yet up on Funnick, and out from the backside we have Bambo with an avalanche toss. Going to land it onto 2, and that's going to be the death of the IO. Funnick should be able to walk that one off. For Clovers, I guess, get an IO kill. but they traded Witch Doctor for it.
Radiant's middle tower
They used a
is
lot
under
of like
attack.
time and resources, rotations to actually get that kill. That kill wasn't even that worth it, because if you consider the amount of time they actually used to get it. So it wasn't too bad for Empire. But it's space, you know, for the Juggernaut. Juggernaut had a really bad start. So Howard is gonna be really happy that he got some time to farm in the lane.
And with the Winter Wyvern coming in against just the Bane, like they're not going to test it. Don't necessarily know who's right behind the Bane, but I think there's a chance for them if they go aggressive to at least force EGM all the way back, because EGM's playing this one very, very greedy right now. They're just chilling. I mean, now he has backup coming into the Tiny. That's the hero that they were scared of, but you know, maybe there was an opening, maybe not.
This Bane has more net worth than the Jug.
Everyone has more net worth than the Jug. This is not where you want to be, especially when you get gripped. Havos, Avalanche Toss is going to kill him off, but now here comes the relocating response. Its Resolution is going to immediately get nightmared, so he can't necessarily get the duel, but he will finally get it onto Bambo. Will he win it? It seems like he will. Resolution is going to chalk up some bonus damage. Now the Embrace onto the IO right now. Going to prevent Pycat from actually getting that kill. Relocate back out, perfectly timed. And where did they go? It was from the mid lane. Yeah, there's no one there. IO's going to live. However, No Fear may not, because Pycat still has a little bit more gas in the tank. Charge coming in as well. They leave the Winter Wyvern for dead. But you know what? It's not the worst trade in the world because they got the dual damage. And they get the tower as well on top.
And they get the Legion Commander closer to his dagger. That's when they can actually be so much threatening on the map with the Blink, Duel, Relocate, then there's the Raw. You know, they have a lot of global presence when they have the dagger plus Relocate online. And it's gonna be very difficult for the 4 Clovers heroes to actually, you know, spread out and try to farm, like especially heroes like Ember or even SV. You want to be alone on the map to try and split push farm, and then you can join your team with your Remnant or Charge. It's gonna be difficult against Empire's lineup.
Yeah, the map is getting a lot smaller here for the
he's
4
going Blade
Clover
Mail
side.
actually. He's going Blade Mail. So he's gonna rely on the Beastmaster to be doing the majority of the initiation. I thought he would actually be just going Blink so he can actually pressure a lot.
Yeah.
It's more of a carry build. You go Blade Mail first and decide if you want to go Dagger later or Shadow Blade.
I guess you figure I have an IO, I don't need a Blink. That's, I guess, thinking Pycat dropping Havos very low right now. There's a healing ward, and an Embrace is going to start spinning immediately. He doesn't have enough mana for an Omni Slash now. The Avalanche toss him stems to the Wyvern. That's going to be his death, and then the Nether Strike under the Juggernaut. Here comes Relocation. He's going to immediately get 2. Resolution doesn't have the duel used just yet. He's going to use it onto Nico, roar onto EGM. They should have enough damage to take both these heroes down. They won't win the duel, but they still will win the fight. Nico is going to die to the Urn Charge. EGM is going to be beaten down by Funnick. Bloodbath, and for Empire, that's perfectly fine since they may even get Saxa as well. Resolution's going to charge in onto the Witch Doctor. He's going to turn out for a cast Death Ward, not even going to get any attacks off before he dies. Somehow the IO gets all those kills, but it's still a 5-man wipe in favor of Empire.
The team play is real, man. Duel 1, Raw 1, and even though you don't get the dual damage, but whatever, they got both the kills.
Again, all calculated, all planned, and then the IO taking the last hits also, so that he can get, you know, up to 2,000 gold. Somehow the IO has that much.
Oh, the boar is slowing him down. He can't. He can't.
Bambo. There's no duel, but there's an Omni Slash, and with an Urn Charge, they would have gotten the kill anyway. TB coming in way too late. Empire just being really assertive with their map mobility heroes. Nikwa, well, he's a map mobility hero himself, and he's going to charge in towards Funnick, who's already pretty unhealthy. Charge is here. They don't have another strike. They shouldn't need it. The Embrace, however, is there. Funnick going to stay alive for a little while longer as No Fear going to drive away Pycat. Nikwa still does not have his ultimate right now. And here comes Resolution with the Blade Mail up and the duel. Nikwa is going to die. This time give up damage to Resolution. That is not the plan. They couldn't kill off a half HP Beastmaster, and over towards mid lane, Havos going to try to race EGM with the spin. Not going to happen just yet, although with the IO there, he should not die. He's going to drop a healing ward, going to get back up to full no time, but this is just a Bane and just a Witch Doctor. Now here comes Resolution and No Fear. They're going to miss with pretty much everything, but it doesn't matter because it's just EGM here, all alone. The cast's going to bounce through. EGM's going to get a Brain Sap out, but Resolution is really fast. It looks like they're not going to chase into the Tiny who has arrived. They also do have an Ember Spirit right around the corner, and they have Vision on No Fear. This may be the death of the Winter Wyvern, and they do jump forward with the Spirits. Chain him down. No Fear does have an Embrace, but the Brain Sap will do him in. Now back towards the tower, they're going to get a charge in, not necessarily onto Resolution. He's going to heal himself beforehand. He's still taking a lot of damage. Now the Death Ward's going to be deployed. Relocate out, however. Avatos going to fail. And they're definitely not going to get the kill on the Legion Commander. They probably don't get the kill on the IO either, since he should have a tether out.
Beastmaster didn't choose to come to the fight. He's going to get a tier 1 at bottom.
Well, IO's going to get tossed back and charged up. They will get the IO in the end.
It's worth
But for the tower, yeah, that's completely worth it for Empire.
Beastmaster's going to have like, what, a 15-minute Necro tree? That is very, very scary. He can basically solo kill anyone when he gets that.
Also, I mean, they have an IO who has more net worth than an Ember Spirit. Like, I don't know how many times that happens in a game. I want to say not that many times, but dude, this IO is rich. Like, usually losing an IO is just whatever. That's kind of his job, but this is a 4,700 net worth hero. Losing him is kind of costly.
But everyone else is rich, right? Like apart from Clovers, I guess he had the roughest laning phase if you compare to his other teammates. But everyone else is doing work, you know. The Legion and the Beastmaster are putting in a lot of work for their team.
Tier 1 easily taken here by Empire, and Tier 2...
This is really worrisome for 4Clovers. They don't have a hero that can build a mech, so once the IO has... once he completes the mech, it's gonna be mech plus Necro 3. Good luck fighting head-on, 4Clovers.
Yeah, the Necro 3 is just so backbreaking for 4Clovers. They have burst damage, but they're not going to be able to save Saxa, who's going to get dueled up. Nightmare, that's not going to phase out the duels. Resolution, even though he may be sleeping, still does chalk up that damage. 34 now for him, and they get the tower so easily at that. They probably aren't going to try for high ground, although I do think they could probably do a lot of damage if they really wanted to. Going for the tier 2s, going for Roshan, going for anything that Empire wants, really, they can do. And it seems like they're going to call 4Clovers on it. They know that 4Clovers can't defend, and they may just get a free tier 3 tower off of this.
But what can they actually do? You know, right now Tiny doesn't have a blink. They can't do anything. They're just gonna lose this tower for nothing, and maybe even Rex, you know. Empire is really powerful at this stage of the game with the Necro 3. It's coming off cooldown in 20 seconds, and he's gonna deliver the level 3 recipe soon.
Spear Breaker is below them.
Man, I think Empire can actually take this Rex with the Necro 3. 10 seconds.
Oh, especially if they get someone beforehand. It's Nikwa. If he gets dueled, that's just the end of it, and he is going to get dueled. Well, he's for sure going to die right now. EGM's going to come right back in, but gets cursed immediately afterwards. He's going to drop, and now they're on to Saxa. This time they're doing it again, but they're going to get all these kills.
No.
It's a 3 kill for Empire. Bambo and Pycat are just sitting in their base wondering what the hell happened. There's a 0% chance these two heroes hold against anything. They have to jump out. They have to avalanche toss just to try to like harass or something, but it does next to nothing. And they're going to lose their Raxus. It's just 16 minutes in the game.
But there's literally nothing they can do. The 5-man from Empire is just really too strong at this stage. It's just about playing with the timings, and Tiny without Blink, you can't really even get a pick off to actually slow down the push, because there's no way right now without the Blink.
And I don't know how much of this was actually like in the grand scheme for Empire, just because Funnick has so much more net worth than a Beastmaster should.
He had a really good like lane matchup 1v1. Like Funnick is the type of player, if you give him a good 1v1 matchup, he's the type of player that can crush the lane and just roll the game by himself. That's how strong he is individually.
Yeah, he will crush you once and then never stop crushing you afterwards, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Providing so much momentum, and even though Habos is I guess was underfarmed, he's going to have a lot of time to recover.
I think he can even get a Lats right now on the Beastmaster and just end the game. Whatever he gets is just...
Aegis seems pretty good. They're going to walk in next to these Bambo. We're right into Aurora in a duel. I guess the plan was there to check if they're doing Roshan, and spoiler alert, Empire were.
He was actually checking.
With his face.
Okay, so the black...
Oh, relocate. Where are they going? They're going to go right back into a Nightmare. Resolution doesn't have a duel here. I don't think he can get anyone. So that was kind of an awkward relocate, but hey, you have the Aegis. You have a whole lot of brute force.
And the Vlads is on the Beastmaster. So he got it. And Wyvern is actually also building Vlads. But Funnick's like, dude, I got it. I have the goal for the full item. And Wyvern is still struggling to build it.
Hey, No Fear doesn't need to get anything else in this game.
Yeah, he just needs to cast his spells, basically.
Yeah. It's tier 2 tower down, and well, Empire took Raxus without Aegis. This time there might actually be a larger scale fight. Before it was just like a 3-man death and then no fight afterwards. But
it's GG.
It's
pretty much over for them. There's nothing they can do. And it's way too far behind from the laning phase though.
Yeah, they're 15k behind. They're gonna blink in, duel up Saxa. He's gonna get put into a blender and he will fall. And they get the curse onto EGM. And again, for Clovers, there's absolutely no response. Barely any spells casted even. They're gonna lose absolutely everyone. And that was not exactly a spectacular end to this game too. Someone dies with someone else in midair. God, I don't know who that was, but that was not a pretty game, to say the least.
Yeah, I think if they actually had Wyvern instead of the Witch Doctor, they could have actually win their lane small. And they placed the Bane Ember mid, and I mean Bane Ember bottom, but they pressured the Juggernaut. But I think in exchange they gave like if you wanted to actually do that, maybe you would have picked a hero that can actually 1v1 the Beastmaster better.